Hello, guys, and welcome to a new weekly live episode of Setup Saturday. I'm here as always with Zero Cool. Zero Cool, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Oh, wait, your camera is for some reason. Oh, it's back. All right. Well, very good actually. It's the weather is nice in Europe for the first time. I don't know if you checked the weather in Belgium. It's 25 degrees for the
What?
first
Oh
for,
my God!
for
Get out of here!
for the first time
It is.
in I think 9 months something.
I drove through
So,
the snow today. No joke.
well, all right, so let's just jump right into the market. So, as everybody knows, we had a really big down week. If we talk percentage wise, we were almost down 10% on the week. This was something we weren't expecting. As you can see, our both of our predictions here, we were thinking a bit bullish, not too bullish, but still a bit bullish. There were
I,
some reasons why we went down. So maybe let's first go over them. I got an article here. So the first one was basically the US government who seized Silk Road's bitcoins. So Silk Road was, maybe you can explain it better. I think it was a
the
website
dark
to
web.
buy drugs with
Yeah,
Bitcoin,
it's
right?
a dark web on Tor network where you could buy anything from drugs to uranium to hitmen. The government seized it. They seized the wallets. It was mainly paid in Bitcoin and Monero. They seized the wallets. It was like 30,000 Bitcoin. Back then, it wasn't that much money, but now it is billions. And yeah, some of those Bitcoin that was seized by the government were on the move,
It
and
was 2
it
billion.
spooked people out. The wallet
Oh, the
itself is
wallet
two
is 2
billion.
billion. Yeah.
They moved 2,000 coins. The 2,000 or the 2 billion number was thrown around. It
Yeah.
was only like 130 million they moved, quote
Yeah.
unquote. Only
It
130
was
million. Still a lot of money.
2,000 bitcoins worth about
Yeah.
130 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that spooked people. I think that's one of the main catalysts.
yeah, because it's a lot of selling pressure on Bitcoin.
Mhm.
But what I'm thinking is they are already sold OTC to some
Oh
other
yeah,
institution,
definitely.
whale, something else. So
Yeah,
it's
and
not something.
Coinbase. I agree.
So don't worry about this. Then another thing, just looking at the ETF inflows, so the US ETF inflows, we saw a bit of an uptick this week. It was better than last week. No, it was worse than last week. Yeah, it's because we had 1st of April was more outflows than inflows, and also this was something why we dropped, not because there were more outflows than inflows, so net outflows, but it's because we had the first time that there was another ETF, so not GBTC, it was ARC, that had outflows as well.
Yep.
So I think the market was thinking, oh, we were not expecting that these ETFs also could sell their Bitcoin. So now everyone is cautious and are thinking, wow, all these ETFs can also sell their Bitcoins and there can be outflows not only for GBTC, but all the other ETFs can also have some outflows. So I think this plus the Silk Road Bitcoins spooked the market a little bit. Um, Also, so both of this plus just the market was way oversold and it had to cool down a little bit. If you guys watched last week's episode, the MVRV Z score, which is a metric, an on-chain metric that signals when the market needs to cool off a little bit. And I think this is just what we saw here. A little bit, the market was a bit spooked by the ETFs, by the Silk Road Bitcoin, and it just needed to cool down a little bit. I don't think it's anything to worry about. What are your thoughts?
Um, no, I am still fairly bullish, honestly. Um, Last week we were idling above previous all-time high, which is bullish. Now we're idling below all-time high, which the saying is consolidation under resistance is ... and it is bullish. So I'm still bullish unless we have like a structure break where we go below, go below 60 and keep below 60, not like a deep wick, which everybody wants, but like close 4 hours, 12 hours, 1 day candles under 60K or even 63K, like in the cloud that you have there in your green cloud. Then I would like think there is a structure shift, and that will trend lower for a while. But now, just fill in spots.
Exactly. And as you can see here, this white line is the Bitcoin halving, which is a very major catalyst in the Bitcoin ecosystem. So basically, what happens is the block rewards that the miners get will be halved. So basically, they get, I think it's now 6.25 Bitcoin. They get every 10 minutes. So basically, the miners, so one miner gets 6.25 Bitcoin every time a block is mined, and a block is every 10 minutes. And this will be halved, so it will be 3.125 Bitcoins 10 minutes. And basically, if you look at it, now Bitcoin has an inflation rate of about 1.8%. So this will go down to 0.9%. And because of this, Bitcoin will become the hardest asset in the world. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think gold, so which is at the moment the hardest asset in the world, has an inflation rate of 1.1%. So after the
Oh,
halving, so after April, Bitcoin
another
will
win.
become harder than gold. So, and this is the first time in history. So for me, this is one of the most bullish halvings. And I think the halvings after that will have less of an impact.
I do want to say the day itself, the moment the halving goes in effect, which
Oh,
was going to be 20th of April, I think, is
yeah.
projected at the moment. It will the moment itself will be a non-event. Nothing will happen. You won't see a big pump. You won't see a big dump. It's just going to go on like nothing has happened. It's either it's being priced in now, or people are positioning for it. The moment itself is a non-event.
Yeah,
The event itself is big.
the supply shock is always 1 or 2 months after it. So when the miners actually have less Bitcoin, so the natural selling pressure is lower,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that you will feel about in 1 or 2 months. And I think this will align with when more and more corporations and institutions will buy Bitcoin. So as I said last week, to buy Bitcoin, that's not something big institutions can just do with one click. They have to do board meetings about it. They have to talk
Through
about it with
budgets.
everyone. It's not really simple. So I think if we have in 1 or 2 months, this will be a lot more, minus
Mhm.
less Bitcoin available. I think we will see a supply shock in the next coming months. Um, just one thing, and then I'm gonna give the floor to you, Zero Cool. How I'm positioning myself is for the moment I'm 50-50. So I have 50% on the sidelines in cash and 50% in Bitcoin. As I said last week, my cash it's in cash, but it's also in stocks, safe stocks, ETF. So for the moment, it's right. I have one big buy, and this is the most important thing I want to say here on the Kijun. This is the mean reversion line. So basically, when the market is overextended, it will come back towards this dynamic support line.
58, yeah.
So here you can see it's at 58K and it's here. I don't have this in one massive buy block. It is my largest buy block, but I have some buys above it as well.
Yeah, in
Um,
case we front run it.
yeah. So what I'm planning to do is I draw one meme line here. Well, it won't work, but as you can see, it worked 3 4 times. Maybe it will work one more time. So I put here a small bit at, let's say, at 65K, and then
Wow.
I've got them stacked lower here at the R2 pivot points, then here at the Kijun, like I said, most of them, and then one last big buy on the weekly Tenkan. These are my buys. I don't think it will drop any lower. If it drops lower, what you can do, one good metric is the bull market support band.
Oh,
Let me delete this one. Bull market support band is at the moment at 50K. So it never touched the band, the run up. So mostly, so every bull run, it touches it 1 or 2 times, and then it resumes the move. So it can be that this cools off and will touch 50K
so you
bull level.
start sell if like I said, if we break 60 and we start idling below 60, if you're then at 54K, 50K, people are gonna start panic selling.
So, for example,
And
if friends of mine ask where should I buy, I always say in a bull market, the bull market support band, because you cannot do anything wrong with it. This is advice I'm comfortable giving.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, you were about
But
to say something?
consensus, yeah. So if I said if we start closing below 60 on 4 12-hour time frames, it is a structure break. People will start selling. If you then go to 53K where your bull market support band is, people will panic there, and you want to buy the panic, right? So I honestly don't think we're gonna see that price. I think it will develop more for weeks. Maybe we just eat further because we've never had a uptrend where ETFs were buying more bitcoins than the miners were producing, right? So
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of it. The inflows are taking a huge supply of the market, and I think that's why we're not seeing the heavy corrections that we talked about last week, the 30-40%.
To be honest, if you're not a trader, my simple advice would be just put everything in Bitcoin. Don't watch it. Maybe come back to it in a year or so when there are top signals that you should sell. But right now, you're fine putting everything in Bitcoin. Ride the waves up, down, and you will be better off next year. It's the game is quite easy. The dollar is inflating every year. Euro is inflating every year. Money is getting printed a lot more. There's so much debt, so you cannot go wrong. I think if you put everything here in Bitcoin, well, this is not financial advice, but it's better than just hold your money in cash. Never hold all
Yeah,
your money in cash.
I think
Um,
Sailor said something about fiat and poor people.
so let's go over to you, Zirko. You
Yeah,
got
I
some
want.
technical
Yeah,
setups.
I want to start with gold. Honestly, very quickly, gold is all-time high. It is pumping hard. I think this is front-running what we're gonna see in crypto. Uh, we had this red line out of the wrists is all-time highs. Here it was on consolidating under all-time highs. This just yeeted up. I don't think that's what we're gonna see in crypto. Um, Another metric that we should look at to see where
Wasn't it
Bitcoin or
like
where it's
a yearly, sorry to go back to gold, a yearly cup and handle? So like a massive cup and handle already starting from 2010. It was a pretty
yeah,
easy
kind
setup, basically.
of. You could see this as a cup and handle, like cup handle,
Mm.
and then this is Steam and what should have or what you can take out of this as a price range is a low until like the high. It's just 800 gold, and then you just put 800 over here, and that should lead to 3K ish. But yeah, gold is breaking out. I think it is front running. It's an asset when people are scared, right? Gold goes up when the stock market goes down. I think
What was
that's
your
the
target that you set for gold?
3K.
Yeah, because I just drew the Fibonacci levels and the 1.618 was at 2.44
Mm-hmm.
and um,
This is gonna hit 168
yeah.
soon. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're not here for gold. I think it's just interesting that gold is eating. Let's go to Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance, the 57%. I still think we're going there. It is slowly crawling up. We can see this, right? So drawings from last year, from last week. It's going up and it will pop, I think. And then this is where you want to look if it starts reversing. If it starts reversing this leg down here from here to here, that's your first alt season, mini season. And it looks like this. This is a alt season. This is an alt season. This is where you want to allocate to alts. This is a indicator I'm looking at for alt season. The other one I'm looking at is ETH BTC. When we break above this 0.06 line here, if BTC dominance is tanking and ETH BTC is above this, it's time to pressure or step on the foot on the pedal and start buying alts like crazy. All right, but Bitcoin. I had this meme triangle posted on my Twitter. We have the all-time high. I think I drew this when we were idling over here. We had a giant 4-hour gap, which we closed in and then yeeted above. Then we had a weekly order block over here. And we tested that we got rejected from it, and the rejection also aligns with the previous all-time high in 2021. So we got rejected from this hard. It went down, it retraced the full pump. And then it had another 4-hour, giant 4-hour candle that just screams, more up. So yeah, it's if this is your triangle, we're just doing this, and the longer we consolidate in the triangle, the more violent and the bigger the move will be. One of the ways you could play this is if we break out from the all-time high here, and we break out from this meme triangle line, and the price comes testing it, tests the all-time high, tests this weekly order block. This is, and you see like starting to drift up. This is where you bid hard for all-time high first target. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting to develop and play. I'm not positioned in Bitcoin. I think I had a long down here and I closed it over here or something. I wasn't comfortable holding it for a longer period of time because these are not scalps anymore. These are like trades on a daily or weekly basis. How would you position here to buy? Honestly, I wouldn't touch this. This is wait for something to play out. Wait for the breakout of all-time high or previous all-time high and the meme downtrend line triangle that we have here. Wait for the break. You can buy the break because logically it should retest and go higher, but it can just go straight up, right? If you have Giga News, for example, I don't know, Apple buys Bitcoin or puts it on his balance sheet. Something.
Yeah. When were the 13F filings? Was it is it next week or when?
From the 20th, from the 15th. I think it's in not next week, but the week after. But yeah, good points, right? Then we will start seeing if big corporations added crypto in their balance sheet in Q1.
That's something important to look at.
So yeah, my trade setup here, I don't have one for this chop. This is pure consolidation. We traded above it, below it, above it, below it. We're making a high, lower high, low, lower low, higher low. It's chopping, and this will break out violently, either downside or upside. I don't know, but it won't be.
Normally,
it won't
when
be
the
like
trend is upwards, so in a bull market, the trend goes up, then it breaks up.
Yeah, one of
Usually.
the easiest. Oh, sorry. One more thing. The most easy trades you have on in a bull market is when it starts printing these meme triangles. And yes, they're pretty meme, but they work, and you can go over 100 charts. If there's a triangle in there, in a bull market, it will break upwards. It's kind of too funny not to trade.
Mm-hmm.
So, two options: wait for the retest on the order block and the previous all-time high, and just go ape shit. Sorry for my language, or buy the breakout. The only thing, and I'm gonna keep saying it every single week, the only thing that I am very, very, very cautious of is that we break above the previous all-time high, we stall, and we come down. And once we start closing 4-hour candles below the previous all-time high, I am yielding all my positions. I'm selling most of my spot positions because I do think that we then test 54 to 50A from here, and this is a 20% drop. Alts have not been doing good against Bitcoin. Every time Bitcoin sneezes, alts drop pretty hard already. -7, -10%. Look at Solana absolutely getting slaughtered. Other reasons, we'll cover that later. But if there is a fake out above all-time high and we start closing lower, I'm yielding like 80 or 90% from my positions that I play with. No questions asked. And it's gonna I'm doing this purely on a Bitcoin move. There's a small chance that it starts consolidating and alts run. Too bad then, I guess. But this is a super red flag for me. I don't want to see this ever. If I see this, I'm gonna panic sell hard. Yeah, that's Bitcoin for me.
All right. Let's go over to Ethereum. So let me just show my screen. So basically, Ethereum is going awful. these last few weeks. This is the monthly Ethereum chart, the monthly Ethereum Bitcoin chart, and you just see from when is it here? It's almost a year and a half. It's down only, and it's not looking good. It's not looking better anytime soon. Why? Because the SEC will most likely not approve the Ethereum ETF on the 23rd of May. So 23rd of May is the first deadline, final deadline of the first ETF, and it will most likely get denied because there is just no news about it. No one is talking about it. But the thing is, and exactly the same thing happened with Bitcoin. It's
Mm-hmm.
that so let's say it will get denied, which most likely will happen, is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
They will sue the SEC. So there will be a litigation process getting started against the SEC, and that's the same as Grayscale did with Bitcoin. And most likely, the SEC will lose the case as they lost it with Grayscale, as they lost it with XRP Ripple. They will also lose it with this Ethereum ETF. But this will not go immediately. But this will put pressure on the SEC. And my thinking is that it will get approved on the BlackRock deadline, which will be in August. So the thing
Yep.
is, how I'm positioning myself is I think this Ethereum Bitcoin will go down. What I'm thinking is the Fibonacci level 61.8. So we'll start moving because for now, like I said, I'm like mostly heavily in Bitcoin invested, and I will move my Bitcoin to Ethereum another 18% down. But
Yeah.
then the thing is, when it will get approved,
Mhm.
then it will be the altcoin Fiesta Casino will get started again, because then the thing is every altcoin, everyone will think every altcoin will get an
And
ETF,
have an ETF.
and
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
it's just open. Then the alt season will get started. So I think I said it last week already. Be cautious now. Be positioned to Bitcoin if you're in spot, and then the summer altcoin summer will start.
Yep. That's fair.
Um,
That's fair. That's fair.
in terms of Ethereum, I don't have too much to say as it's been slacking as against Bitcoin as we saw here. So that's just a thing I wanted to say. So fundamentally, wait it out. There will most likely not be an Ethereum ETF, um, and just position yourself for the alt season for the summer, because also in the summer, most likely the interest rates will come down, and then it's risk on. Then you can YOLO in every altcoin, first Ethereum, and then every altcoin, and just follow my money rotation cycle, and it will
Yep.
happen again. It happens every cycle, and it will happen this cycle as well.
One was basically meme coins, right? I think there was a post somewhere. Don't have it pulled up that said meme coins had like a 1K% return. Then it was AI and RWA sectors that had the best return.
But why is
So
that? Is just because the middle class is going away and the lower class is just stressing. I saw a
gambling.
tweet the other day that right at this moment we're at an all-time high of lottery ticket sales. This just
Yeah,
indicates that everyone is maybe quote unquote
gambling.
desperate, and they just see no other way out to riches than by gambling. And we see it in real world lottery tickets, casinos, and we see it here in crypto with meme coins.
Yep, 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 yep. True, 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 true. Now, I'm still a bit more positive on the ETF on May. If you share my screen, I'll show you why.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think it was not last week, but the week before, we said the start of an Ethereum ETF there will be signs by more and more news posting about it. It was completely silent the last couple of weeks, but we saw stuff coming in. This week on the 2nd of April, we had Fidelity filed something with the SEC,
yeah,
or
they
the other way
filed
around.
with staking in their ETF now.
Yeah, so they changed
But
their
the thing
proposed.
is, what I'm thinking, and I don't think everyone is on the same line. I think that BlackRock and some other ETF issuers don't want staking, that they just want to gain as much money as possible so that they just offer the Ethereum product. They get all the Ethereum from everyone buying, and they just will stake for themselves and will not give the yield to the customers.
Back. Yeah.
So I don't think
Uh,
everyone is on the same line, and that's why I think the Ethereum ETF won't go through.
Then the 3rd of April, we have SEC asking for public comments from multiple participants around the Ethereum ETF. Then the 5th of April, JP Morgan says that the SEC will have eventually to approve a thing. My point being
Eventually.
is, my point was there was no news, there was nothing, and now there is something. There are rumblings, there is news, there are posts. It's starting to pick up. Doesn't mean that it's going to get approved, but we did say that. So I don't know when we said it, but the first sign that it is coming, that there will be news, and the news will accelerate. And this to me looks news, and it's accelerating. So I was still holding hope, but yeah, if you look at the price chart of Ethereum, this looks really bad, right? On the weekly charts, we had 2 big down weeks, which were 25%. Had a good bounce, got a good week after, and we closed here. And then just from the open, we had turbo down. The wick here is super small. I think you can read it on top. The open was 49, and the wick here on this weekly candle is less than $1. It's pretty absurd. So yeah, on USDT pair, Ethereum looks turbo bad. And when will it start looking good? Once we start closing above this line, I think. Then you can target 4K and then all-time high next. But I would wait. I'm in a position, I'm underwater, I'm gonna hold it out. It's not that big. On Ethereum, I do have sting bits ready for a swing position from, I believe, under this low to 2,850, I think. Yeah. So here I have a cluster of like 20 orders. Okay size times 2 leverage, I think, just in case we do turbo nuke minus 50% like we did here, this thing. I don't think this will happen, but you never know. That's why it's not too big of a leverage, but this is where I am bidding for 10K to go 10K. 10K is the meme. This is a position I want to ride. Looks insane on the charts. Will it happen? Very unlikely, but if we get here, I'm bidding.
I think very likely that we see 10K this cycle.
But yeah, this is where I'm bidding. This is where I have my sting bits. This is where I pull some of the cold wallet Ethereum out and have a ×2 leverage ready to buy, to bid, actively bid under the 3050 line all the way to 850. And if it goes lower, if it goes below 3K and it stays there, that's where you start heavily buying Ethereum spot. You start reallocating real world assets into it. Stuff like coin, I think, is, like you said earlier, stocks that are crypto related will do very well. Coin is the obvious play. I've been buying since the yellow box here. I've added this week, I don't remember where, yeah, around here, 39.50 I think I added some. I have $0 left in my stock account. It's all in coin, mostly like 9% is in coin. This is a coin that this is a stock that will perform giga hard in the bull market, I think, or in the alt market, alt season. But if Ethereum goes under 3K, this would be something that I would consider selling to reinvest in Ethereum.
Is it easy in Canada to go from stockbroker account to crypto accounts, or is it difficult?
It's very difficult. You need to cash out and then probably go to Coinbase because they also got a new license. I need to look up what. I haven't read it in theory, in detail yet, but they acquired some sort of new license in Canada, so that should be easier, I guess.
I'm really waiting for it because I was thinking that Kraken will want to offer stocks, but I don't know when it will go live on their platform.
Yeah, we've said it before. I think real world assets is the play for the next the next alt cycle. I think real world assets like Ondo and Grand Base on the base chain will do really well. I think it will be the best performers next to AI and meme coins.
I
And
think gaming and the gaming bull run hasn't started yet, but I think it only needs one game, which will probably come out in a couple of months, and then all the other games will get traction as well. This is something I see happening this cycle as well. That gaming, on-chain gaming, will explode.
for ETH BTC, by the way, we are below my range low. We're with a low again. We'll most likely close our weekly candle there. Yeah, there's a good chance this bleeds out to like 44.40, right? Or 0.04. And yeah, that's where you start rotating your Bitcoin into Ethereum.
It's a shame because Ethereum is a chain that's working, unlike
And
Solana.
yes, unlike Solana, I have that open as well. Well, if we swap to, yeah, there's not much to say about Ethereum. It looks bad, it feels bad, it trades bad. Just don't trade it. Or be a cuck and have a position open like me that's underwater and refuse to close it. Keep adding at the lows, I guess.
But the thing is, we were talking about it just before we went live, and that's probably every single corporation will build something on Ethereum, and they will
I
not
know.
build it on Solana. They will not build it on any other layer one. As we saw BlackRock, they will start tokenizing everything, and it will be on Ethereum. It will not be on Solana. And for example, Solana is the quote unquote game chain. But I don't think any major game will develop on Solana. I don't even think Solana can handle more than 100 games on their blockchain. So maybe in the
Yeah,
future, maybe I'm too bearish, but honestly, I think the future will be on Ethereum because everyone is just building on Ethereum because it's the safe choice to do as an enterprise. You cannot
yep.
take the risk and build on Solana, which will go down, for example, half of the time. That's over exaggerated, but you get the point.
Same with Solana, by the way. And you look at the weekly chart. This is a giga resistance here, around 200, 202. Start closing above 200, and we see 260. It's all-time high in matter of days, I think.
Yeah, so last week we spoke about the ascending triangle with the Fibonacci levels 20% higher. We took the trade and it went down. But as I said, it was not because Solana's weakness. It was just because Bitcoin went down because of all the reasons we talked about earlier. And then just the trade was invalidated and we're out of the triangle right now. But I still think if you bought spot, you're fine this cycle. We trash talk Solana. Well, I trash talked Solana just before. But nevertheless, it's a very good chain. Not because it's a very good chain, but it's got a very big community, and there will be a lot of meme coins built on top of it. And as we said before, this cycle meme coins will do very good as well. So all the meme coins will probably be on Solana, and because it's easy, transactions are easy, it's fast, so it's more fun.
Mhm.
That's why I think Solana will perform very well this cycle as well. Just when I say the future will be on Ethereum, that's just me thinking about 10 years ahead in the future.
That doesn't mean that Solana cannot adapt to accommodate that. It cannot accommodate it now. Doesn't mean it cannot in the future. There can be network upgrades, and
It
yeah,
doesn't
no,
mean price cannot go up.
yeah, right. We're here to make money, right? We're not here
Yeah.
to like, oh, we were on the right chain. It just
Do you
took
want
10
to be
years.
right or do you want to make money?
Right? Correct. And one more I'd like to show, and I think everybody who's been following Solana has seen this one pass by multiple times. Sol against ETH looks so bullish. If I see Solana above 200 and I see Solana ETH above this this yellow previous all-time high line, I am going to rotate most of my Ethereum into Solana, and it will be a free ride to 260. And where does that end up in Sol ETH price? I have no idea. Is it 10%? well, yeah, then I got 10% more Ethereum for just quick swap to Solana and back. I'll take it any time of day. And yeah, that's it for Sol. I think we can go a little bit deeper if you want on the levels. The 201, 202 is obvious, the weekly resistance. We had a triangle that broke down, or the
Maybe
ascending
just
triangle.
a range building, and it will just consolidate together with Bitcoin for the weeks ahead. I don't
Yeah.
think we will see major moves happening in the coming weeks.
Um, I am thinking of buying or like heavily allocating into Solana below 140. Like I had a level on Ethereum where I'm like, okay, this is where I want to leverage long. I think for Solana that's below 140.
Well, I got some bits at the Keytron, as I always do, following my Shimoku trading strategy, and that's at 152.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair price to bid. And right now it's showing weakness. Honestly, it's not looking good.
Yeah, well, I think
Maybe
it's because all the meme coins were dropping. I don't know if it's correlated, but there was a whiff event where some drug guys were dancing on the podium, and
Mhm.
it's funny just because of that event, whiff went down like 10% immediately. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it wasn't that, but it was also a big part of it. It was like, oh my God, these are the people that buying this. Never mind. Still, I guess. Yeah, I think part of the reason why it's doing so well, so bad, is because transactions are just failing. Like 75% of transactions were failing at one point. That's just not acceptable
And
for
it
any
was
chain.
for a couple of days, right? That the chain was not working.
It was a couple of days ago. I don't know if it's still this bad. I claimed my wormhole airdrop that took a while to send. To claim was okay, but to send it took like 3 or 4 attempts to send
And
to the
it's crazy.
exchange.
That's what I mean when there are just some little events that the chain is not working anymore. Imagine hundreds of
Yes,
games being built on top of it. It's yeah, it won't happen. It just won't happen. All right. I don't think we're gonna cover some more altcoins because I have to go. If you want, we just do our predictions for Bitcoin
Yeah,
for
and then
next week.
I'm gonna keep mine at 74.
You're gonna keep your 74?
75. I had 75, right? I'm gonna keep my
It was
75.
75. Whew. What is
Okay,
that?
I'll keep it at 75.
10%.
Well, that's a nice candle, huh?
That's a very
That's
nice
a
candle.
that's a
Okay,
consolidation
let's
under resistance
turn.
is bullish candle.
So just a heads up, next week I'm not here. I will be 5 days in the south of France, but I
Okay.
will land Sunday evening. So I'm not sure if we can do Sunday late in the
Oh,
evening
we
or
can just post a stream, post a screenshot of where the prices and our predictions are, right?
yeah. So I
Maybe
put it
post
here 75. That's yours.
75. Yeah, yeah.
And
What do you
well,
think?
actually, I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna hold mine as well at 72.
Yeah.
Same
Okay,
feeling
okay.
as last week, bullish, but not super bullish, just normal sentiment, leaning a little bit bullish. What is mine? 5%. I think that's fair. Um,
Yep.
but for the same, I mean, we can just range in it. I don't think so. What I'm thinking is these are two pivot points, and the all-time high. I think we will just range in it. I don't think you you will be right, but let's see. I don't think we will break the all-time high again. But
If, something I did not cover, what happens if we do break all-time high and we don't reject? Then it's probably 80, 82, right? Next
yeah, then it's
point.
higher. Then it's higher. So. All right. This was it. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like so we get in the YouTube and Twitter algorithm and we get a little bit more traction. That is if you like the show. If you don't like, just dislike. All right. Thank you very much. It's zero cool. And then we see each other
No
maybe
problem.
in 2 weeks or maybe in a week and a half.